Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.
It is the first day of August 2022. Welcome to the news. The headlines: David Umahi wins Ebonyi South APC Senatorial ticket. Police reinforce ban on motorcycles movement in Katsina State. We also have in the news this afternoon: first grain ship leaves Ukraine ports under Russia deal. There's also business, sports, and entertainment. Welcome again. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, the NARD, has given a 2-week ultimatum to the federal government to meet its demands, which includes the immediate implementation and payment of the new hazard allowance and arrears as contained in the circular from the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission. According to its spokesperson, Dr. Alpha Yusuf, the association will shelve its planned strike if the government meets its demands. The Christian Association of Nigeria CAN in the 19 northern states and Abuja has reaffirmed its opposition to the Muslim presidential ticket of the APC. Its Secretary General, Sunday Oibe, in a statement, further noted that the Christian body cannot support such a ticket in a multi-religious and multicultural society like Nigeria. Following his victory at the APC presidential primary, Senator Bola Tinubu, a Muslim, had announced Senator Kashiru Shettima as his running mate in the forthcoming poll. Shettima, a former 2-term governor of Borno State, is a Muslim from the Northeast region and the lawmaker representing Borno Central Senatorial District at the National Assembly, Abuja. Oibe had called on politicians and political parties to be wary of those who might sneak to meet them secretly in the name of Christian leaders from the north, with the sole aim of whetting their political appetite in desperation for monetary gains. Still on politics, Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi has won the rescheduled Ebonyi South All Progressives Congress APC Senatorial primary election. The election was rescheduled in obedience to the ruling of a federal high court in Abakaliki, declaring the results of the primary poll, which took place at the headquarters of Afikpo North local government area of the state on Sunday. Chairman of the electoral panel, Emmanuel Adedayo, said Governor Umahi had scored 250 votes to defeat his immediate younger brother, Austin Umahi, who scored 10 votes. According to the election panel chairman, Mrs. Anne Agomeze, who appealed the judgment of the Abakaliki Federal High Court, scored 0 votes. The election was conducted by a 5-man electoral committee chaired by Professor Emmanuel Adebayo Kaude. The Nigeria Police Force has expressed concern over the incessant and unauthorized possession and use of police uniforms and accoutrements by individuals, including movie makers and online skit makers in the country. Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi said this in a statement which was released yesterday in Abuja. He stated that the police were also worried about the illegal sale of police materials and accessories by traders in shops and open stores not approved nor recognized by authorities. According to Adejobi, the Inspector General of Police has equally frowned at the demeaning manner in which movie and skit makers portray the police institution in their productions. Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has directed the suspension of the Ohi of Ebonyi and Chairman Ajaokuta Traditional Area Council, His Royal Highness Alhaji Musa Isa Achuja, with immediate effect. In a letter to the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Kogi State, the Kogi Governor also directed that the Chairman of Ajaokuta Local Government Area, Honorable Mustafa Akaba, be queried over the breach and should reply within 24 hours. The governor's directive against the affected persons is in connection with the recent security breach in the area, which led to the untimely deaths of some security personnel on their legitimate engagements of maintaining law and order. The governor strongly warned other traditional rulers across the state who may have connection in a way or the other with criminal elements in their domains to desist forthwith, as his administration will deal ruthlessly with anyone who romances with criminal elements, no matter how highly placed they are. Still on security, the Katsina State Police Command has reinforced the ban on the movement of motorcycles in all parts of the state. This is coming barely 4 months after the state government and the command temporarily lifted the ban to ease movement during the Ramadan period. Police Public Relations Officer Gambo Issa, in a statement this morning, said the enforcement became necessary following the recent threat by terrorists and other criminals riding on motorcycles. Meanwhile, the Katsina State government has also declared today, Monday, as public holiday throughout the state to usher in the new Islamic calendar 1444 AH. The Nigerian government has condemned the killing of a 39-year-old Nigerian, simply known as Alika Ogochukwu, in Italy, asking authorities in the European country to probe the incident and arrest the killer. Ogochukwu was reportedly beaten to death in Civitanova March City in the province of Macerata in the March region last Friday, a situation which caused an uproar amongst Nigerians living in Italy. Reacting to the incident in a statement by the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Francisca Umahi, the government had said that it had directed the Nigerian embassy in Rome on what to do, one of which is for the embassy to liaise with the relevant Italian authorities to ensure that justice is served to prevent a reoccurrence of the sad incident. While commiserating with the family of the victim, the government had called on Nigerians living in Italy to exercise restraint as the law takes its course in the case. Almost 100 artifacts which were looted by British colonial forces in 1897, could be repatriated following a request from Nigeria. Oxford University Council, in a statement, confirmed the Pitt Rivers Museum had received a claim for the return of 97 items, including bronzes from Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments, the NCMM. The objects were taken from Benin City, Edo State, and are currently held in the collections of Oxford's Pitt Rivers and Ashmolean museums. It is expected the Charity Commission will have considered the claim by September 2022, which the Oxford University Council has decided to support. Outside of the shores, Myanmar's military regime has extended its emergency rule until 2023 as the country remains divided by internal fighting following last year's coup. The junta seized power last year after overthrowing Aung San Suu Kyi's democratically elected government. The military had promised to hold free and fair elections in the future, but this morning it said it needed more time to stabilize the country. Many in Myanmar are, however, skeptical the military will hold multi-party elections or transfer state power to an elected government. Elsewhere, the first ship carrying grain has left the Ukrainian port under a landmark deal with Russia. Turkish and Ukrainian officials said the ship left the southern port of Odessa early this morning. Russia has been blockading Ukrainian ports since February, but the two sides agreed a deal to resume shipments. It is hoped the deal will ease the global food crisis and lower the price of grain as further shipments are expected over the coming weeks. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres welcomed the departure of the ship and had hailed Turkey for its role in working to implement the agreement. Up next is business news. You're listening to News at Noon on Lagos Talks 91.3. And now business news, where Emirates Airlines, flag carrier of the United Arab Emirates, says it will reduce its flight operations to Nigeria over the inability to repatriate about $85 million in revenue. The airline, in a letter addressed to Aviation Minister Hadi Sidika, said the planned reductions will take effect from the 15th of August this year, adding that flights will be reduced from 11 per week to 7 per week at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Last month, the International Air Transport Association, the IATA, said Nigeria was withholding revenue worth about $450 million earned by foreign airlines operating in the country. Emirates note that the issue was primarily a financial constraint, urging the Nigerian government to support. In sports news, the Super Eagles of Nigeria 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Guinea-Bissau have been postponed till next year. The Executive Committee of the Confederation of African Football (CAF) had confirmed this in a statement which was released on Sunday, the 31st of July. The double header between the Eagles and Guinea-Bissau, as well as other qualifiers involving other countries for the 2023 AFCONs, was built for September this year. The double header fixtures will now come up in March 2023. In Formula One, Fernando Alonso will race for Aston Martin from the 2023 Formula One season, joining the team as Sebastian Vettel's replacement. In a shock move which was confirmed out of the blue this morning, Aston Martin say Alonso has signed a multi-year deal to race for them. The two-time world champion, who currently drives for Alpine and turned 41 last week, will fill the position of fellow multiple title winner Sebastian Vettel after the German confirmed his retirement. And a quick look at entertainment news this afternoon. American singer Ne-Yo's wife, Crystal Renee, has announced she will not be staying with her husband after claiming he has been unfaithful to her for 8 years. In a lengthy post on her Instagram page, the mother of three stated that she will no longer lie to the public or pretend that their marriage was working, alleging that she had shared her husband with numerous women who sold their bodies to him unprotected. Ne-Yo, in response on Twitter, however, requested privacy, stating that he and his family will work through their challenges behind closed doors and for the sake of his children. The couple, who got married in 2016, recently renewed their vows in April 2022. The headlines again: David Umahi wins Ebonyi South APC Senatorial tickets. Police reinforce ban on motorcycles movement in Katsina State. And we told you on the international news, first grain ship leaves Ukraine port under Russia deal. Thanks again for listening to us. First day of August 2022. I'm Victor Njoko. Have a fabulous afternoon.
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.